Yay Media Group.
Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS. So the other day I was just real bored at my house. And I was like, oh, we have podcast coming up, and we always do a bonus episode.
And we used to take questions.
People loved the questions, and then it just was so hard because we have to, that creates an organization issue on our end.
So we gave up.
So we were like, you know what, this is too much. So I went on my TikTok story, and I said, hey, I have a podcast coming up, so
if you have questions
and you want our life advice, you know that our lives run so smoothly that we are the ones to give it. If I'm being honest, Trey and I, we just really know
what we're doing.
Our lives are so smooth that we feel like we need to give you guys advice on how you can be like us. You're welcome. Now, one of us still doesn't have a kitchen, and the other one decided to go from a small remodel to
a full gut job.
We don't always think things through.
My cabinets are being installed right now, and I know I've said that for now 3 weeks on this episode, but
are they doing like one cabinet a day?
I don't know. I think they're there.
I do not believe you. I will be shocked. I will be back in my house before he is cooking in his kitchen. I will tell you that much right now. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's our first question?
Okay. Let me put my coffee down. I know I said this before, but
can't wait to change lives
here. We do this at my husband's. We have like a business center, and they have the best, cheapest coffee. I'm sure it's not even, but I do love it. I really want Trey to give me his coffee that he has at Pinky's, and I've asked him for over a year.
Bag.
Hey, can I buy a bag of beans from you? And
yeah, I'm going to do that today.
Sure you will. Okay. Sure you will. Okay, here we go. This is the first question.
Okay.
I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years. He's incredible in every way except he refuses to propose. He says marriage is just a piece of paper. Last week, I found out he secretly bought a ring.
Oh.
For an investment.
What?
Do I wait? Give him an ultimatum or leave?
He bought a ring for an investment. What is that?
Yes.
So
they've been together for 3 years.
Okay.
She's in love with him. He doesn't want to propose. He doesn't think you need a piece of paper.
I have a lot of follow-up questions. I want to know how old they are. I want to know if this is his first marriage. If it's not his first marriage and he's been burned in a divorce before, I could see why he would feel that way.
Uh-huh.
But I think if you've been with someone for 3 years, it's time to make a little bit more of an official commitment.
Yes.
What do you think?
Okay, I truly believe this in any relationship with somebody who wants to get married. Okay? Mm-hmm. I think really the older I get, and this is the most unromantic thing I'm going to say. I'm going to put it out there. It is not, if you're romantic, you will be like, I hate you, Stephanie. Okay. But I truly believe this, and this is something that I've learned in my life. And I told Trey this, and he probably thinks I'm right now at this point in his life.
She usually is.
I think from everything I've known in my life and watching other people's, if there are two people and one person wants to be married, one person wants a commitment, and the other person does not, it's never going to work out. And the reason is because I think especially for men, usually you have women who want more of a commitment, they want to get married, and usually you have women who are also feel like they're a little bit on a time crunch in life because you want to have children, and a lot of people would like to do that by a certain number of years for many reasons, because it's just, women have a little biological clock thing that they have to worry about. And I think a lot of times, I think to get married, you have to find a man that wants the exact same thing as you. It's like two people who are at the same place in their life at the exact same time who fall in love. But I think you can have a really amazing relationship and it's a great person, but it's not your person because you do not want the same things in life. And you can love somebody and them not be ready, and then, you know, a year later find somebody who's on the same page as you. And I met Travis at a place where, like, right when we started dating, we were both like, I don't want to play around. Like, I want to have a family. I want to get married. Like, we both wanted the exact same thing. And I felt like I was at that point dating for a purpose. Like, I wasn't just dating to have fun and to goof off, where in the past I was like, oh, he's hot. And yeah, like, I'll just.
Well, and that's the important part. It's what is the purpose? What is your purpose for dating? Are you dating to get married, or are you dating just to get your coochie wet? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And I think for this person, like, you're on two separate pages. Like, you can love somebody and you can think they're great. So you need to figure out if you're okay never being married.
But would you break up with them?
I would but if I really wanted a different life path than they were willing to give me, I would, because no matter how amazing they are, I think if you're not getting your emotional needs met and you're not living a life that's authentic to you, you're going to start resenting them, and they're going to start resenting you if you push marriage. I have a really, really good friend right now who is in her 50s, probably late 50s. And her and the guy she's dating are both divorced, and she really, really struggled. He treats her so well. I mean, like, showers her with affection, and, you know, just like, she, you know, doesn't work anymore because he sold his company and did you know, so he's kind of also started out working and then just out of nowhere sold his company for crazy money. And it really bothered her for a while, because she's one of those girls who really wants to get married and settle down. And even though their marriage, even though their relationship was really great and she was happy, she is that kind of person. I think she still is. I'm interested to see what happens. That loves being a wife, loves having the stability of a marriage. And I told her, I said, listen, he's very honest with you on what he's willing to give you. Like, he's willing to.
Don't think you can change that. Like, if that from the beginning was a, hey, I don't want to get married.
Yeah. Like, he was always very, very, very much like, I had a really bad divorce. I'm never getting married again. I will treat you like my wife. I will in every way, but I can't do the piece of paper ever again. And I think that she's felt like he was going to change. Maybe now she's in the acceptance place. I don't know, because I feel like, but I told her, I was like, he's been very honest. And if you can't accept that, then you need to move forward with your life, because he's not going to change his mind. And I think it's wrong to push somebody to do something that they don't feel comfortable doing, especially when it comes to like that big of a commitment.
Well, I guess my question for him would be, what is the concern around the commitment? Why is he not willing to take that step? Is that because he's been in a previous marriage? Is it because he doesn't trust himself? Like, what's the reason there? But you feel like the relationship is worth ending if he does not make that next step?
Yeah, and also, like, why would he buy a ring as an investment? I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know. I don't love that.
I don't love that either.
I don't love that. I think, I don't know. So I don't know. My friend kind of reminds me a little bit of my friend, because she's with this guy, and like I said, he sold his company, does very well, and he bought a very expensive piece of jewelry and kind of made it into where around everybody else he was, saying, oh, this is for my friend, right? And then when the jewelry came in, he was like, oh, you can wear it.
Yeah, that's weird.
But this is an investment piece.
That's weird.
So, and it hurt her feelings. She was like, if I'm not good enough in you don't value me enough to like actually buy me the ring, I'm not going to be your trophy pony to like.
Well, also, I don't need to borrow something.
Yeah, like I don't want to borrow from you. Like, if jewelry that you think, like is good enough to give me as your girlfriend, that's one thing, but I'm not going to just like, I don't need to rent
something from you.
Yeah, like but she was like, that makes me feel bad about myself that you just said one thing and did another. So anyway, I don't know. I think he's probably a great guy from what you're saying, but if you want different things, I don't know if I would stay in this room. I would be very honest with him about what you want and see what he says. And if it does not align, I think I would probably look elsewhere. Maybe you break up and he's like, oh my God, I cannot live without this person. I want to marry her and give her this investment piece ring.
No. All right, we can take a break real quick. We'll be right back. All right. What's our next question?
Okay. My boyfriend makes about 10 times what I do. Every vacation, he wants to split everything 50-50 because he says that's fair. I can barely afford it. Should relationships always be equal financially?
No.
Yeah, I would agree. But why are you? Because I feel like this is, when Travis and I were first dating, I lived in Oklahoma and I worked in the social service field, and he loved to travel and he was super fun to date. But even me, at one point in our relationship, and I had a house that I bought, I had bills I had to pay, like I could not, and I didn't make so much money where I just didn't have to worry about it either. Like I was working multiple jobs whenever we met. And he would always want me to go on these trips with him, which I loved him and I wanted to do. But at one point, right before we got engaged, towards our 6-month courtship, I was taking off work with the
so much that it was affecting your bills.
Well, I wasn't getting paid. The last trip we took to Hawaii where he proposed, I had to take off. I had no more time left, so I was taking off, and I knew I was not getting a paycheck. I was very concerned about paying my rent at that point, or paying my mortgage at that point. But he never I could barely afford to go to these trips because it was at the expense of a paycheck.
Yeah. Let alone covering the cost of the trip.
I've always felt like this. I've told Trey, as a couple and as I got married and made my own money and have friends who maybe aren't as financially blessed, I think if you want somebody to go someplace where you know it's a stretch for them, you should always take that into consideration. If I want to go to a really, really nice restaurant, and I have a friend of mine from Oklahoma who
or me
or Trey, not anymore, but back in the day, or Trey back in the day, who I knew that was a stretch for and that was going to really financially be difficult for them, I would always pick up the tab. Travis and I have always kind of been that way. If we want you to do something and we really want you to be there and it's a stretch for you, I'm not going to expect you to harm yourself financially to hang out with me.
Well, I think you got to pick one. Do you want to hang out with a person or do you want to go to this place? Because if you really want to go to this place, then you should be picking up the tab. If you really just want to hang out with this person, then let's change the plans to something that match their financial situation to where you can go there instead. But this couple always splitting everything. If he's making 10 times the money, I'd be like, well, hey, we're going to SeaWorld. We're not going to Bali. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's what I can afford. That's it. That's the,
yeah,
and if you're not comfortable with that, then go by yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. But I think if you want those great things, and again, it's back to, I don't know, I just feel like if you are dating somebody, I don't know, just take care of the person. If I made 10 times more than somebody, first of all, I would hate that. Honestly, I've never and never ever would I ever want to be a sugar mama I do not want to ever take care of a man. That would be such a turn off. Even if I'm 90 and Travis passes away and I decide I'm going to get back on the saddle, I would sooner die than be a sugar. I just feel that just makes me feel but I know people that who are girls who date guys who are, but I just would not, but I just think, I would not like that personally, but to each their own.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's our next question?
This is interesting. Okay. My wife keeps liking every shirtless photo. Okay. My wife keeps liking every shirtless photo this one guy posts. When I ask about it, she laughed and called me ridiculous. If the roles were divorced, she'd lose her mind. Am I overreacting?
I want to hear your thought on this first.
I don't think he's overreacting. I think that if something bothers your partner and it's as easy as not liking, random thirst traps of a stranger on Instagram, that's a pretty easy way to make your partner happy and feel good about themselves. And if it's, I don't know, I think if you're doing something that makes your partner feel less than or insecure about, you should modify your behavior if it's something that you can easily change.
I also think what you fill your feed with is what you fill your head with.
Oh, I could see that, yes.
And like, if that's what you're scrolling past every day, and you're in a committed relationship, I don't think that is setting you up for success in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're constantly going to compare these people that you see on Instagram who post these thirst traps, who probably don't look like that 24/7.
No, I will tell you.
That's what you're comparing your partner to.
Yes.
That would bother me, yeah.
So I even have this really, 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 really in shape friend. It's a girl. And
I know exactly who you're talking about.
yes. And this girl is not somebody I would honestly probably want to look like. It's a lot too much for me. But I know, for even being a friend, I've watched her take her pictures of her very, 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 very times 20 toned and shaped body and do things to create more like
She'll edit her
shadows
photos
of
You're
definition.
lying.
I swear to God. And she does not need to. And if anything, maybe do the opposite. But so I'm saying even people that are super, super in shape, they still will do tools to create more shadows or more definition or more, oh yes. So Instagram is not what you think it is.
All right, we got to take a break real quick, but we'll be right back. So that was something very, very, very early on in Zach and I's relationship that I did is I went through and I unfollowed anyone that I didn't actually know. If I was just following you because I thought you were hot, like out of respect for the person I was dating. And at that point, it was like, okay, this is getting more serious than just us dating. Like, I think I really like you. I'm going to go through and unfollow because, like I said, what you fill your feed with is what you fill your head with.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I was like, okay, me following these people just because I think they're hot, that's me kind of keeping my options open. Like, that's not productive to my relationship. And that's what was important to me, was doing things that are leading my relationship in the right direction. It was little, it was stupid, but it was important to me because I wanted to set myself up for success.
I like that. I don't even know who I follow.
All right, what's our next question?
Ooh. My fiance asked me to sign a prenup. We've been together 5 years and I know he loves me, but I can't help feeling hurt. Is asking for a prenup practical?
Yes.
Or does it mean he already has one foot out the door?
No.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's
no
very
one
practical.
plans for divorce, but I think especially if you have a sizable amount of assets, even if you just own one house that you purchased, and say it was a $250,000 house before you met someone, you should protect that asset. So stop taking a prenup personal. It's not personal. It's business. Because getting married is a legal document. So you should have other legal protection to protect your assets if something goes wrong. The divorce rate is 50% in the US. Like, I stop taking a prenup personal.
Okay.
Now, if in the prenup you are totally screwed on the other side, that's one thing. Like, you know what you're signing, but let's be realistic.
I have a prenup. I completely agree with you. Travis and I did a prenup when he was in a very different place in life as well financially. Whenever we met, he was not anything like he is now. The reason I like a prenup, and by the way, I definitely made a lot less than him when we went into our marriage. But the reason I liked it is I think it's better to figure things out, like the what ifs, when you're in love with the person and the person loves you, and they're going to be much more kind and giving and loving in what happens if this ends when you're in a good place than they are when you're in a bad place, whenever things fall apart and they're like scorched earth, some people. I think it's good to know what you're getting in. And also I think Travis and I both wanted to feel like we were like, I know that he's told me that he feels like because of that he's like, I'm in it for the right reasons. Like he knows that I can walk away and be financially very well. So it makes him feel like I'm in it for, love. And because he knows that I walk away with quite a bit, then I also feel like I'm not trapped. I think a lot of women feel very, very, very trapped in a marriage whenever they are stay at home.
And a prenup can trap you. Like, that's why you should read what you're signing.
Well, that's why you should also have your own lawyer. Like, whenever we did a prenup, I was not like, oh yes, you draft it and I'll sign anything. Like, I had a lawyer and he had a lawyer, and we worked together and negotiated whatever the prenup was. And there have been times where he's like, shit, like one of the things I do get is whatever house we live in, and the nicer the houses we live in, the more he's like, damn. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't think a prenup is a bad thing. I think if
it just handles the conversation before you need to have it. And maybe you never need to use it, but at least it's understood.
Yeah. And if somebody gives you something that is very unfair and something that you don't feel comfortable signing, you should get your own lawyer, and they should negotiate and work with you. That's my opinion. And a good prenup, a fair prenup, I think is not a bad thing.
No, and I think oftentimes, like, especially if there's a trust involved, that is sometimes a requirement.
Well, but also a trust really protects the person.
Yeah.
Who, and to where their spouse will not really get anything so I think especially if you're marrying somebody who's a trust fund kid, get a prenup, because that trust really, really, really protects them. And that money. So I don't think prenups are bad, but I know some people would sooner die than sign one. I don't think they're a bad thing at all.
I have a friend that was marrying someone that was in the medical field, and the day before their wedding, she was given a prenup by his lawyer to where she did not have time to even like hire a lawyer to read it. And it was basically like either sign it or the wedding's off. And it was incredibly like she would have gotten absolutely nothing if this marriage did not work out. And she was expected to not work was kind of the situation. So it was very much not in her favor. And she was like, I'm not signing this. And the lawyer was like, then you're not getting married. And she was like, okay. And they did not get married.
Yeah. I mean, I have 2 boys, and they both, will have, trust accounts, and everything's kind of in the trust for them. Their wives will definitely have a prenup because they need to be protected. Like they do, because the trust really protects our sons. And I think every woman should know what they would potentially walk out of, especially if they're not going to work. And maybe their wives will be more, financially sound than them regardless, even if they are. Like, I think a prenup is very, very, very smart.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think we have time for one last question.
Okay, perfect. Let me see what this last one is. Hold on 1 second. I'm being choosy. Oh shit. Okay. I have a rule. This one's more of like, am I a red flag type thing, I believe. Yep, it is. Yep. Okay. I have a rule that if someone doesn't text me back within 24 hours, I stop talking to them forever. My friends say I'm sabotaging good relationships. I think I'm protecting my peace. Am I the red flag? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
We would not be friends because I do not. I'm horrible.
How many missed texts do you have right now? Or how many unread messages?
Hold on. Jesus.
109 unread texts. And I bet about 3 of them are from me.
Probably.
Yeah. No, you're the red flag. Yeah. Case closed. All right. I think we have time for one more question.
One of those from my
mom.
My mom and dad. A lot of them are like, you have a prescription ready. You have this.
I hate a notification on my phone. Oh, I need the notification to go away, so I handle it. Yeah, I respond right away. But yeah. So yes, to answer your question, you are the red flag. All right, do you have any other good ones?
Yeah, this is the last one. Every time I start dating someone, I Google them, search their exes on Instagram, I look up their property records, and read every public court filing I can find. I call it being prepared. My friends call it FBI behavior. Who's right?
I support you.
I do too.
Yeah. So there's an app called Forewarn, and I don't know how I get it like through real estate, but I can look up your phone number and I can see every vehicle you've ever owned, every address you've ever lived at, if you've ever been in jail, you've gotten a speeding ticket, like a lot, and I love it. And I look people up all the time. It's my favorite thing to do. I think you should absolutely know who you're dating. I actually have a friend who was talking to a guy, and she sent me his phone number to put in Forewarn, and she said this guy was like, his family was in cattle, and like they owned like a meat packing plant and all this stuff and had all this money, but he would never take her to his home. Said he had this big home out in East Texas. And when I looked him up, he has an apartment in Richardson and has never owned a home and could not find any family that has any sort of ties to cattle. Said he had all these cars. I found like a Chevy Aveo. That was the only car he's ever owned. So in finding that, found out he was a massive fraudster, and he actually ended up defrauding her out of like a lot of money. So I think it's important to know who you're hanging out with and who's in your home.
Yes, because if your beginning of your relationship is based on deception and lies and of any kind, then I think that really sets a precedent for the rest of it. I mean, that you should be like, this is not, like if somebody's going to start out a relationship with any type of deception or lies or, you know, anything, hiding anything, that is such a red flag, no matter what it is. And I just feel like that's going to set the tone for the rest of your relationship, and a walking red flag. I think people really, you know, in the beginning, especially, there really should not be red flags. There should be green flags everywhere.
And I think on dating apps, people are putting their best foot forward so much so that maybe they're fabricating things a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Google away. I would be all of. And then I also find it weird when I can't find someone on Google. I'm like, where are you? Because like in 2026, I should be able to find a lot of information about you on Google. Yeah, and if I can't find you anywhere, I got more questions. I actually have another friend, same situation, lied about his name. Fully lied about his name. And it wasn't like he was using his middle name as his first name. Fully made it up.
Oh, that's weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah. I agree. I would look somebody up. Back in the day, I don't think we really had that option. It wasn't as easy as it is now when I met Travis. But I will tell you right now, I would, if my kids get serious, like if they're in college and they're serious with somebody, I'm Inspector Gadget on the people.
I know. I already know your mortgage. I know where you live, where you work, what you do, where you spend the most money before I even meet you. That's easy. Like, don't worry about it. Don't tell me I already know.
Yep. There you go.
Well, I think we just solved the world's problems.
Yeah, 100%. We are so smart. Yes, you're welcome, people. Thank you so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Hollman on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast. You can watch us on YouTube at Weekly Dose of BS. Bye.
Yay Media Group.